Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Uvorach. This week, Parashat Terumah, we are introduced to the building of the Mishkan, the house for God. And of course, our commentaries point out that God doesn't need a house. God is bigger than the whole entire world. Melo kol haaretz kevodo. The point as we read these parashiot is really not to make room for God in a home, but to make room for God in our hearts. And as we read these parashiot, the question that we should ask ourselves is, what can we do to make ourselves into a Mishkan? Because ultimately we have to remember God doesn't dwell in buildings, but in builders. And as we read about the Mishkan and its vessels, we pay attention to the lessons that they are trying to teach us, and we prepare ourselves into being a Mishkan, so that God, like the Pasuk says, can veshachanti betocham, can dwell not in the building, but in us. And I want to share with you just one amazing thought about actually the dimensions of the vessels. We know that the Aron, the Torah tells us the dimensions were 2.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. And the other vessels, the Shulchan, the Mizbeach, they were 2 by 1, they were complete dimensions. And all of a sudden, by the Aron, it's halves. And the question is why? And a rabbi says something very powerful. The Aron represents the Torah. The Aron housed the tablets, the Torah. And the Aron represents spirituality. The table, which held the bread, represents a person's parnasah, or a person's materialism. And the Torah is teaching us something very profound, and that is that when it comes to our spirituality, we should always feel like we are half. We should always feel like we are only halfway there, that there's more to do, there's more to grow, there's more to learn, there's more to achieve. And when it comes to our bread, when it comes to our parnasah, a person has to be able to realize that I am complete and I have everything that I need. And unfortunately in life, sometimes we do the exact opposite. When it comes to our spirituality, we're kind of satisfied at where we are. We look at the people that are under us. We pat ourselves on the back and we feel so accomplished, and we say, look how not religious they are, look how immoral they are, and look how good I am. And we stop climbing, we stop achieving for better and greater spiritual success. And then on the other hand, when it comes to materialism, when it comes to money, when it comes to fame or honor or parnasah, we're always looking at those that are higher than us. And we go around sometimes bitter, and we go around life lacking joy. We look at the people that have more and we wonder, why them? Why not me? And we're stripped of all of the simcha, of all of the happiness that life has to offer. And the Torah reminds us, when it comes to the table, look at the people that are below us. Realize how lucky we are. Realize that we are complete and we have everything that we need. And when it comes to Aron, when it comes to the spirituality, to be able to remind ourselves, I always have more to do. I could always do better than I did yesterday. And remembering the lessons from the measurements of the Mishkan, we will be assured to have spiritual and material success. Shabbat Shalom.